Suddenly, even institutions abroad, the US conference sent people to work with us. The Jesuit Media Initiative in London sent people to work with us. They were not volunteers. They were people working for other institutions that came 15 days to work in our team. And we were so excited because we were working in a, I think Chris Lally said something like that yesterday. We believed in what we did. We were contributing to the mission of the society beyond the mission of our own individual institutions. And you cannot imagine the explosion of creativity and performance that we lived through. There is something there I just wanted to show you a little bit. Okay? Also, again, the same lesson from GC35. There is a need of a dialogue. Actually, 1 week, the 3,000 guys were spread around Spain. And the use of media, of social media, keeping the same line. So actually, for 1 week, Twitter and Facebook were the only places where you can keep a sense of wholeness of majesty. And they kept using it. And there is a new attitude of working. That means we need to learn from digital natives. How can we do our objectives in their way? Not other ways. Not other ways. So we can learn from natives. We can learn. And I will go very quick. I already talked about Kasungu. Jesuit Commons Higher Education in the Margins. This is a collaborative program that is going on, offering the expertise of higher education of the Jesuit universities in the States and other countries, helping GRS to develop in the frontiers of our mission to bring the education there, the higher education. Okay? There are 26 different corporations and universities already engaged, led by Regis and Gonzaga University. There are 3 pilot projects already going on, 2 in Africa and 1 in Syria, 400 students, 1 slow and liberal studies, some service track learning courses without credits on counseling, health, I don't know more of them, but they are also English as a second language, this type of things. And this is actually working. You can check the website. There is a lot of information. For our purpose today, the lesson we can learn is technology can expand the scope of our mission. This is something I said already. We can tap into existing resources. We don't need to generate new institutions for doing this. And there is a sense of shared mission that go beyond the sectors, the apostolic sectors. Because actually, GRS is working with universities, that means social sector and educational sector together. Cross-sectoral approach is possible also thanks to technology. And the last lesson is the Global Ignatian Advocacy Networks. It's an initiative that started in 2008 with a group of institutions working in Ignatian advocacy gathering in Spain. And they, after GC35, following the same spirit, they decided that there were some lines of action that will be benefit if we, the Society of Jesus as a whole, make an option, a concerted global action in advocacy on that behalf. So they picked up like 10 issues that finally got narrowed down into 5. Migration, ecology, governance of natural and mineral resources, right to education, peace and human rights. And they made a network of institutions interested in working on that. And they named 1 leading institution. And also to merge this with our regular structure of governance, each of the networks is assigned to 1 conference of provincials: Latin America, Europe, South Asia, Latin America, and Africa. The conferences are the umbrella where these networks are being held. Okay? You have the information of this project in nationaladvocacy.org. What I just want to call your attention is we can learn that we have possibilities to reach a concerted global action. Institutions from different levels of action, like universities, NGOs, social centers, are working together already in networks through technology. So we have these 6 examples. I want to call your attention. First of all, we have a global network, a global institution, a global network, 2 international events, and then 2, I don't know how to call this. They are not international events because they are meant to be sustainable. They are not institutions. They have no sense by themselves. This is the type of initiative we are talking about when we say a new way of working. These are initiatives that build on the strength of our networks, tapping in our institutions and our people. These are initiatives that channel a renewed sense of universal mission to what is already there Okay? And maybe this is the way through to recover that apostolic boldness or that apostolic dynamism that we were talking about in many of the talks on this colloquium. So I just want to bring your attention here. There is something new in this way of working, and that's what we need to be focusing on. So we have 6 lessons. I'm not an educator from your sector, so maybe you can help me to answer if these lessons can be transferred to your educational sector. Okay? I will pass through very quick. Can we use the corporate mission work of technologies for the expertise or for the identity of Jesuit education? It's possible to globalize some action lines. If Vivian was right, we need to use the strength of our network. We need to use the strength for doing global education. I'm not going to stop in this. Okay, the question of can we use concerted global action is actually what we are trying to answer. My point is, education is really a sector that can take advantage of these new technologies and use it for global networking in a way that we are just starting to understand. So it will be a pity if we stop here the reflection, because the difficulty of this is, when you are talking about examples, is how to take off from examples and how to do somehow a reflection. And I would like to offer you kind of a big picture approach, so it can help you that you are leaders of institutions, not techie guys, to use technology in a strategic way. So this is the most bold approach that I have had to this topic, but I hope it's helpful for you. So the whole dynamic is how to move from tools, the operative area of the technology, to the culture change that is behind it. Okay, this is the challenge we have. This is the challenge. And if we talk in different levels, there is an internal dimension of the use of technology in our organizations. That is how they help us to organize ourselves. This is the easiest use of technology. Everybody understands that, you know. And this is the use we are usually having in our institution. To coordinate, to improve productivity, to have better results, okay? Sharing the calendars, have a file system, file server, remote collaboration tools, all these things are for coordination. But there is something more. We can go further in this dynamic and use technology for knowledge management. That means at the end is being possible of gathering the information, aggregate our information in our institution, and extract somehow conclusions of what is being done in our institution. How can we learn? How can we restructure our data, our knowledge, and put it out again? So there is a kind of a cycle of feeding information and feedback that help the institution to learn. And in this way, we reach a moment in which all these technologies are helping us actually to have a sense that we are the owners of the mission. That the mission, the strategic decisions are being taken because of the information that comes from the local places, and actually it helps to hold the institution together and to have a sense of globality. This is what GRS is doing actually, that type of movement. There is another dimension of the use of technology. This is how I relate to the outside world. So let's say my clients, whatever will mean clients. If you are a teacher, the clients are the students. If you are a director, the clients are the teachers. If you are the secretary of the sector, the clients are the institutions. Okay? So the first step is listening. Open your eyes, open your ears, put yourself in the digital world, listen what is going on, learn from what the people is saying, and also check what they are saying about managing online reputation, you say. We can go even further, establish a conversation, engage. Father Lombardi said yesterday, there is a huge change from listening to conversation. Learn, be open, accept insight from outside. And there is another step, and this is even longer, you will love about me, but it's co-creation. This is collective intelligence. We are not there. I'm sure in the future we will be talking about communal discernment here, because actually we are facing this time where we need to open a dialogue to discern the mission of our network. There is another level that is an external one. How do we network? How do we work together as network? And there is a first stage of use of technology that is just what we call a service provider type of network. It's the classic secretariat of the Curia. So I give service to the network. I empower the people who belong to my network. It's just an interchange of information, best practices, channeling the branding, etc. So very simple things, but it's the first stage of networking. But you can do better. You can go to a project-focused network that actually common action is getting there. And we can do even better, that is, go to collective action. That means act as a unique actor, the whole network together, reaching levels that were not there before for us, like Gian is doing, the Global Ignition Advocacy Network. So this is very important, this dynamic, for networks of support to networks of agency. This is something we need to be focusing in the future for sure. This is something that Chris Lamy called from transactional networking and interchange of information to transformational networking, when really everybody works for a mission that goes beyond the individual and the institutions. We are in a different level of agency, reaching possibilities that were not there before, isolated. I call it symbiotic networking. That is when I join the network because I'm interested in and I win from that, to synergic networking. That is, we all act together in a different way, reaching different levels. I'm not sure if you allow me to do this jump here, but yesterday when I was listening to Father Lombardi saying from a superficial communication to a sense of communion, this is what is in the background. If someone is watching to our network, they will say they are relating to each other